you know, you are the first person to give us a JLo track. It was a big hit, and most of us like, what? She's a dancer, and then you gave us that If You're Not Well. What was your? I mean,
I didn't know she was a dancer. I didn't know any of that. I just knew all I knew was I needed to. They told me, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. They say line them up, and then I'll do the rest. So when Tommy Mottola called me, he was like, man, I got this artist. He actually says she's a movie star, and you know, and I need you to help crack the code on her. That's what he said, and so I remember meeting her, and I remember like sitting down with LaShawn one day, and I was just telling him that I was like, we got to approach it from a very a vulnerable place. And it just kind of spoke. Like I kind of just started playing this somewhat of like, it's almost like a guitar sound, but it's almost like a harpsichord guitar, like blend. I've kind of blended it. And then I went kind of Latin. I was doing what I do. Like I always did these like I chop up arpeggios and I do these things, but I was like, let me give it a little bit of just a tiny bit of Latin because that's who she was. And man, I had no idea it was gonna be as big as it was. Like, you know, imagine scoring the first #1 single on JLo, you know, which she wasn't even JLo at the time. She was just Lopez. So, you know, I didn't know, but next thing you know, it was huge.
Now, I mean, the myth that we had is, you know, that's the record that's in a way sort of said if JLo could sing, anyone can sing, and it became the whole auto-tune stuff, and that was the stuff that went on the scenes. I've seen her sing live now a lot, but back in those days, I mean, was it a case of, okay, she's very attractive, she's got a good look, but she's not vocally like Beyonce, so we need to do some magic in the studio, here's the sound to get the vocals up? Or was it the case that, well, actually she can sing, and you know?
I don't think I've ever approached it from that standpoint. I think I approached it as let's just try to make a great song. Let's just try to write a good song, and you know, let Tommy Mottola do what he do with Sony and their marketing team and all of that. But let's just make a good song, as if, you know, whether it could work for her or work for whoever. Let's just make a good song. I never really I don't know, maybe because I worked with other artists that got judged that way even before her. I worked with Britney before her, you know, so, you know, I worked with different people who might not have who you don't call like, oh, they're not like Whitney Houston or Beyonce, but they're, you know, but you know, you work with them, you know, and I've seen Teddy work with artists like that as well, and you know, give them a sound and give them, you know, some cool stuff.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I love this. I love the album. I love the song.
And then it just happens, like and then it happens, and it's like, wow, this turned out bigger than what we even expected.
What would be your top 5 Darkchild Productions?
Ooh, I never been asked that question. Top 5. I'm probably gonna go. Am I working backwards or starting at 1? I'll start at 5.
Yeah, start at 5. Yeah,
I'll start at 5. If I had to play 5 right now from a production standpoint, number 5 I'm probably gonna play is I'm gonna play He Wasn't Man Enough.
Okay, Tony Braxton.
I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go to from a production standpoint, I'm gonna go probably to Brandy. What About Us?
Okay.
Just because it was just so different at the time when it came out. 3, I'm gonna go to Michael Jackson, probably Unbreakable. And then 2, I'm gonna go to I Can Love You, Mary J. Blige. And then 1, I'm gonna go to Say My Name, Destiny Child.
Okay.
UK inspired, by the way.
You know, how's the UK?
because it happened. So they didn't sing to that actual track. Like when I was in the UK, I was in the UK.
Oh,
I was in the UK working with the Spice Girls before I worked at Destiny's Child. And I went to a club one night with them, and there was a DJ playing what was called, I believe, like two-step music. And I was so intrigued by the rhythms that I was hearing because I'd never been to UK. I never heard those rhythms. So I went up to the DJ and I asked him, could he make me a CD of a bunch of two-step garage music? And he did. He brought it to the hotel, and I flew on a plane. My first session after I got back to the States was with Destiny's Child. And they really sang to a two-step beat. Now, after the two-step beat was over, that's when everybody didn't like it. No one liked it. Everybody just thought it was trash. And then fast forward to the day of the mix, John Marie. I walked in the studio and I told John Marie, I said, can you pull down the track and just leave the vocals up? And he said, why? We're mixing. I was like, everybody was right. I'm wrong. This is trash. Like, this is not good. And he goes, you sure? And I was like, I'm positive. They're right. I'm wrong on this one. And I humbled myself and I went back and I redid all of the track, the whole track over. And now it became Say My Name As You Know It Now. And it was my first Grammy. So it's like the story of it is somewhat an emotional attachment to it because of the way it happened. But it was definitely UK inspired from the gate. It ended up not being that, by the way, right? It ended up not being a two-step, but it was inspired by that from day one.
Yeah, no, because it was very different. And yeah, it was a very different type of beat. And that's the same thing that we do say about you, is that it's not something that we can always say that you still do the same thing. You had your top 5 Darkchild Productions, but what were any of them, would you be your favorites? The top 3 favorite songs that even if they weren't as successful, like you just felt that this was.
I'll maybe ask me that in about 10 more years, and then I'll let you. I'm still working.
Because people would think, how come he didn't say The Boy's Mind? Because that was one of your biggest sort of.
Oh, I forgot about it, man. See, you remind me. It's funny, but you said productions though. I'm just if you said song.
Yeah, your favorite songs. Yeah, your favorite.
If you said songs, that would have definitely be top 3. In my opinion, The Boy's Mind might even arguably be number 1.
Yeah.
But you said production, so from a production standpoint,
from production,
The Boy's Mind to me as a producer it's just okay. It was cool. It wasn't, to me, from a production standpoint, it wasn't my greatest production, but it was cool.
Yeah.
But as a song, it's a really good song.
Was it inspired by The Girl Is Mine from Thriller?
Totally. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Not in a melodic way.
Yeah, but that same argument.
But the argument between two was totally inspired by.
There was a song you did on Invincible, and I think it was Heartbreak. I can't remember which one it was.
Heartbreaker. Yeah, Heartbreaker.
That actually reminded me of a number of tracks from Bad. It almost felt like. Yeah, I mean, listened to it recently, and I thought, there was some of the track that reminded me like an amalgamation of a couple of songs from Bad. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and turn on the notification button, but also check out our membership offers where you can actually watch all these videos as soon as they're released, especially without any of those YouTube ads. But thanks again for watching and being part of the Halftime Chat community.